Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 1036 of Screw the Commute podcast. Today we're going to do part 2 of Teleprompters, and I hadn't really planned on doing a part 2, but so many people were asking me, well, what about the equipment? What about the software? Let's hear about it. Okay, here I am. All right, make sure you pick up a copy of our automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate-free. And you hear a little Minnie in the background there. That's my little munchkin that she actually climbed an electric fence. She had 20 of her siblings and friends, and then she climbed up this electric fence to get to me. And I said, oh, with that kind of commitment, you're coming home with me, kiddo. So that's little Minnie. And anyway, automate free, screwthecommute.com/automate-free, and make sure you get version 3.0. That's the latest. And check out my mentor program at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com and my school at imtcva.org. Okay, let's talk about some of the equipment for teleprompters. Make sure you listen to episode 1035, lots of important tips on using teleprompters that you don't want to look like deer in the headlights or, like you're beady-eyed or untrustworthy. So that's on episode 1035. And anytime you want to get to a back episode, you go to screwthecommute.com/ and then the episode number. That was 1035. All right, so these first equipments I'm going to tell you about require a tripod. So you mount your camera and this device on a tripod. And they run anywhere from $99 to $199 mostly, but then you can get super fancy ones for $750, but not really necessary. So the way these work is there's a plate where you put your iPad or iPhone or Android tablet or whatever it is with some software on it that inverts the text and through a mirror shoots it up to a piece of glass that's right in front of your camera. So you can look through the glass directly into the camera, but read your script. All right. And when I say read your script, go back to episode 1035 and don't just read. Perform your script. That's probably a better way to say it. All right, so here's several of them, and any particular one is, I've had mine for years and years. I don't even know what brand it is, but Glide Gear is one. Neewer, Neewer, has either a 12 or a 14 inch. I normally suggest getting the larger ones in case tablets keep getting bigger. ICAN, IKAN is a brand. Desview, DESVIEW, Moman, MOMAN, Small RK is another brand. So you can go on Amazon, and that's a good place to buy them because if you don't happen to like it, you can send it back and pick another one. But anyway, that's going to be something that will change your life because once you put into the software your script, wow, you can look right into the camera and not have to fumble and bumble around or do the jump cut trick that I talked about on episode 1035. Okay, now there's another really interesting one. It's only $45 roughly. If you just go on Amazon and search for portable teleprompter or personal teleprompter, these will connect. It's a little device that'll connect to your laptop right in front of your webcam or your desktop in front of your webcam. And that way you can look right through it and do your script. So only $45 for this one. Now, there's another one that didn't get great reviews. It's an interesting concept, but didn't get great reviews. It's called an eye contact hangs webcam. But it hangs down, like the webcam's on top of your laptop or your desktop, and has a tiny little thin arm that comes down about 4 inches, and it's really tiny camera. So you could have your text scrolling right behind that camera. However, some of the reviews said Well, it's distracting to have it in front of the text. And if anything wobbles, it wobbles and kind of distracts you, and the picture goes crazy. So you could try that at your own peril. All right. So if you get one of those tripod devices or the one to hook to your desktop, laptop, you're golden. But you still got to have software to go with it. So I'm going to just read. There's so many of them now compared to when I first started looking at these. So I'm going to read off a bunch of them. A lot of them have free trials, so you can check them out and see if you like them. So here we go. Teleprompter.com is one. Teleprompter for video. Just the word teleprompter. Teleprompter video prompter. Teleprompter Pro. Video teleprompter. Big View. That's BIGVU. Let's see. Teleprompter floating notes. Teleprompter Vilo, VILO. Video teleprompter light. Highlight.me. So you see there's so many of them. Prompt Smart Pro, and there you go. So there's just so many of them out there. You could see one and then go to YouTube to see if there's reviews of it, so you don't have to download and install each one and try them yourself. But you're going to need some type of software, even if you have the hardware. The hardware is no good without the software scrolling your text, and you have to be able to input your text or upload text, things like that. And some of the things have a Bluetooth connection where you can have a tiny little thing in your hand with a button or a scroll wheel, or I think some of them even work with mice. I'm not sure. But that way you can slow the scroll down or speed it up without having to stop and redo all the settings. So that's, and then also the size of the fonts. See, if you make it gigantic because your eyes are bad, well, so little of it shows on the screen, it's hard for you to anticipate the next words. This is more like I should have told you on the episode 1035, but both of these together, you should listen to both of these episodes if you really want to do this. And if it's too small, you end up squinting and it's hard to read. See, so you got to find that right size that's right for your eyesight and your distance from the screen. Now, you don't have to be as far, like I outlined on the last episode, if you have a good teleprompter, because you're still looking directly into the lens. And that's what makes you credible and gives you good eye contact and makes people feel like you're talking just to them. All right, so go back and listen to this if you want to write down the names of all those apps that I just talked about and the tripod. But if you just put in iPad teleprompter into Amazon, all of them are going to come up, and you can just go through, read the reviews and so forth. But having one of these literally will change your video life. All right, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Check out my mentor program, greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and my Chev authorized school, imtcva.org. It's certified to operate in Virginia, and it's distance learning, so you don't have to be in Virginia, by Chev, a state council on higher education in Virginia. Save yourself a couple $100,000 and get into a business like I'm in that's made millions of dollars, and all from a laptop, a desktop, and a cell phone. All right, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We'll catch you all in the next episode. See you later.